All right, welcome back, Bears fans. Excited to have you here with me today. We are doing our mini series of Bears Breakdown. Today's position is the safety, and it is one of the more entertaining ones to do because there are several options of different ways we could go in this one. There are multiple things we can do. I think the consensus is we are going to save that cap money from Eddie Jackson's contract. We'll get into his contract, but we're pretty solid on the strong safety side with Jaquan Brisker. Let's look at the dynamics here of the contracts. I don't know why they have Elijah Hicks on Sport Track listed as a cornerback and they have Jalen Jones as a safety. It doesn't make any sense. Switch those two up and you get it right. So this is me cutting and pasting. Sorry, it's a little choppy. They didn't fit perfectly with the amount of safeties and the amount of cornerbacks we had, but you get the gist of it. We do have some young contracts, but you can see they are coming to an end here. So it is more important than ever this year that we get it right at free safety. We need to pick the right guy that's not going to be a bad contract. Eddie Jackson wasn't a bad contract. I'm going to lay that out. He was not a bad contract. He was a great player for the Bears. He was playing at an elite level when he signed that contract. His play has just declined since he signed the contract. And that's what you always worry about, and you don't want players to do that. I don't think that will happen with Jalen Johnson, so don't worry about that. I think he's going to keep playing at an elite level. But Eddie Jackson is not playing at that level, and his contract does need to go. Let's look now at, real quick. All right, let's look at what Eddie Jackson's contract looks like. And this is a good little tool. If a lot of you get confused by what cap hit and dead cap and all that means, Sport Track really has a good way of explaining it for noobs, and it's a really easy way to break it down. So you can see Eddie Jackson's cap hit next year is $18.14 million. There's no way to get out of paying him at least a portion of that, the guaranteed amount. But if we restructure it post 6-1, so look at the blue parts in the middle. If we get rid of it, if we release him pre 6-1, there's a dead cap of 5,580. That's happening either way. That's the dead cap amount, okay? So when people say we're saving more this next year, it's not overall. It's just we don't have a lot of dead money right now. So we might release Eddie Jackson and Cody Whitehair post 6-1. We might need the money now to make these contract signings like we'll talk about. Either way, you're paying him that 5,580, the $5,580,000. If it's post 6-1, look over the three columns to the right. You'll see 2024 dead cap is 3,990. And so we would have 2024 cap savings of 14,150, but we're still paying the other $1,590,000 next year in dead cap. So either way, that $5,580,000 is getting paid to him. So it's not like we're saving more money. It's just we're saving more for the now. I don't know if that money right now is more important to us, and we might just want the dead cap on this year because we don't have a lot of dead cap. So why drag it out and make it harder next year when we do have some bigger things coming up? I don't know. Those are questions that Ryan Poles is going to have to get down to with how many free agent signings he wants to do. But the reality is we're in good shape. We're in a lot better shape than we were when Ryan Pace had put us in this really difficult situation. I'm not a big fan. I've made that pretty obvious down here. But either way, the Bears are going to save $12,560,000 by cutting Eddie Jackson. So that's going to happen. Eddie Jackson isn't worth the $12,560,000 alone. So we are going to cut him, and what to do is the next question is what do we do after that point? So here's our current free safeties that performed, and then strong safety you can see below the level below Quindale Johnson. So these are the guys that played at free safety this year: Eddie Jackson, Elijah Hicks, and Quindale Johnson. Not very many reps for Quindale Johnson at all, and he still got an interception, so that was kind of nice. Elijah Hicks, he played very poorly. He was a very bad tackler, is what I should say. If you look on the far right, of all safeties that had qualifying time or snaps to get ranked, he was 94th out of 96. So not real great for him. He and Quindale Johnson are both under contract through 2025. We have him the next 2 years, so I don't see him going anywhere, but I also don't see him getting as much playing time as other guys in the future, and I really see us having a strong free safety coming in, whether that's in the draft or in free agency. So let's look at our options. To go through this real quick, there's interceptions, forced fumbles, pass breakups, touchdowns allowed, tackles to missed tackles, and then their grades. So this one's pretty straightforward on the numbers. Jaquan Brisker at strong safety did a very good job. Very good for his youth. He's only going to improve, and I'm impressed. So don't worry that it says 54 out of 96. He's improving every single game. Second half of the season, he was getting better and better, and I think he's very solid. I think he's going to be a top-tier safety this upcoming year. I think he's going to have grades in the 70s. He's very quick learner. He's a student of the game, and this is his life. He loves football. So I'm very happy with Jaquan Brisker. All right, let's look at our defense. Right there, you see the yellow at the top of the screen. That is our free safety position. That's Eddie Jackson, not a strength for us. Jaquan Brisker on the other side, our strong safety. Those are our two starters. I'm very happy with Brisker. Okay, so to me, it's foregone conclusion. Eddie's gone. We love him. Thank you for your service, but you're gone. Love you, Eddie. Next, we come up to the free agents. Okay, actually, before we do this, let's skip. I'm gonna come back to this. You've already seen it; it's already spoiled. But I'm gonna talk about this after because I want to switch up the order on this one. I'm gonna go to the draft class because here's the reason why I think the free agency class is so important at the safety position, and this is why you tune into this channel because I'm researching some things that other people aren't even talking about yet. Spoiler alert: we're gonna get Xavier McKinney. Plan on him being a Chicago Bear in 2024. I'm already saying that right now. That's going to happen. And this is why the Bears are already looking at this stuff well before you or I or channel A or B or C or podcaster C or D or whoever is talking about this stuff. They're already researching the stuff that I'm 4 weeks behind them researching. They know this stuff. They know what's going on. In the draft, there's two main guys, Cameron Kitchens and Tyler Nubin. Cam Kitchens had a huge year last year. He had a good year this year, but last year was a huge year. And that's holding over. He's quality. He's top of the tier. Tyler Nubin, to me, goes above Cam Kitchens. Tyler Nubin had the type of year this year that screams elite, that there's no one that's going to play like him in the NFL. I think Tyler Nubin is the real deal. And that's why in some of my mock drafts, you see me trading up into the first round to get him. He's projected on here to go 30th to 33rd. I think they're behind the times. He's legit going to be a first rounder, and I really think the Eagles are going to steal him at 22 or 24, wherever they are right there. I think that's how high he's going to go. So I don't think there's a shot of us getting Tyler Nubin. And to me, that's why I want to go to the free agents next after this. Because without Tyler Nubin, yes, I'll settle for Cam Kitchens, but he's also projected to go to the end of the first round. And there's a lot of defensive-minded, hungry teams that are deep playoff run teams that want to shore up their defense. And these two guys are the perfect candidates to do that. There are other quality guys in this draft. Kalen Bullock, Javon Bullard, even Katana Oladapo as a value signing later on are good, but I don't trust them to be starters. They want to be elite. Those to me would be like Jaquan Brisker or even Tyreek Stevenson, where you think they're going to be good long term, and I really am confident with both those guys. Those are two solid guys, but year one you're going to have the bumps and struggles. Cam Kitchens and Tyler Nubin to me are guys that year one they're going to come in and they're going to be your difference makers. They're going to be your playmakers, and they're going to be the top of the top. I really do think they will be top tier elite caliber players in year one. So here's some guys that I like in the draft. I just don't see it being realistic because even if we trade back and get a second rounder, that's too late to get Cam Kitchens or Tyler Nubin. And that's why in my mock drafts, which we do for fun and we have a lot of fun with them, I have us trading back into the first. And man, if that happens on draft day, I'm going to be screaming and flipping out. I'll be going live. I'll be doing all sorts of crazy stuff because that would be electric. But what's more realistic to me, and heck, if one of these guys falls to the second round and we traded with Washington and got the 34th pick and Tyler Nubin fell to us at 34, I'd be even more freaking out. Even if we already signed a free agent and we took Tyler Nubin, it's worth it at that point to pay the free agent and have Tyler Nubin sheep on your roster, learning behind him and rotating. Yes, that's worth it to me. Okay, let's go back. I'm digressing. Let's go back to our free agents. And here to me is the free agent market. And it's actually a decently strong free agent class for safety. Here's the problem. Your top three free agents, Antoine Winfield Jr., Kyle Duggar, and Cameron Curl. Antoine Winfield is with Tampa Bay, he's with the Buccaneers. Kyle Duggar is with the Patriots, and Cameron Curl is with the Commanders. All three of those guys, they're going to get tagged. Every one of those guys is going to get tagged. I would love to have Antoine Winfield Jr. He is the peanut punch master. He is the all-end-all, be-all for safety. He, to me, I mean, he ranks number one in the entire league. He's just, man, I would love to have him as a Chicago Bear. It would be awesome. It's not going to happen. He's going to get tagged or they're going to sign him. The same with Kyle Duggar and Cameron Crowe, but who wasn't on my radar as much as he should have been was Xavier McKinney, because he's been inconsistent. Last year was not a great year for him. This year was a huge year. He was the crux of their defense this year. He's what put them in games when they were in games. And I didn't realize how elite he played until I looked at his stats and then I watched some of his play. Xavier McKinney's the real deal. He's not going to garnish as big of a contract as Antoine Winfield because he's been inconsistent. 2023 was stellar. 2022 was not good. 2021 was a good year. It was that progress year that makes you feel good about him. But then 2022 happened, and it's like, oh, where's he going? 2023 makes you think. So he's going to sign a 2 or 3 year deal. He's not going to sign the 5-year max deal like Antoine Winfield is. He's going to sign a 2 or 3 year deal at a good value. SportTrack has him at 10 to 11 million. Because so many of these safeties are going to get tagged, I think there's going to be some value for him, like value on his side with his free agent, that they're going to pull a little more than he normally would. I think we'll end up signing him for $12 million annual, and I think that's a very good contract if he plays up to what he's done in 2023 and 2021. He's played very, very well. So I'm very excited, and I really think that's why you're tuning in here. This is the guy we're going to snag, and it's a good value contract for us at $12.5 million for 3 years. He's going to look to build his stock. He's only 24 years old, 27, get that max contract if he kills it with the Bears, and I really like that. 3 interceptions this last year, 1 forced fumble, 3 pass breakups, 4 touchdowns allowed, which is a little more than you want to see. Eddie had 3, but he played more snaps than Eddie. But there's room there, and he is a quality safety. You see his PFF grade was 87.8. Antoine Winfield's was 90.5. The touchdowns allowed doesn't show the entire picture. He really is a strong pass defender. There's very low rating when they're passing against him. So that's my guy right there. All right, let me know what you guys think. Here's my preference as we get to the end of each one of these. What I do on these is a preference. 1, trade down and then trade back up and get Tyler Nubin. I don't think it's realistic. So I'm just saying that here. I don't think that's realistic. If somehow Tyler Nubin falls to us at 34, if we trade with the Commanders, which I think is our most logical path of going, if he falls there, man, I really want to snag him. But I just don't see my preference happening. So I'm going to say sign Xavier McKinney, and that's where we're headed. This is a quality signing. This is my Bears breakdown for the safety position. It's part of our mini series. Let me know if you like it. Let me know what you like. Let me know your thoughts and comments. I love interacting with you guys. I love where we're headed with this thing. Please let me know. Like if you haven't liked. Please remember to hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. And until next time, until our next one, bear down.